What's going on, guys? Today I have another Hat format live duel commentary video for you guys. Today I have me on the purple mat playing rank 8 plants. It's a deck that I've really been enjoying lately. I have a deck profile for it on my channel in case you guys are interested in it, but it's such a cool and fun deck to play versus my friend on the blue mat playing the Kaiser control build of Battlin boxers. But anyways, he starts off by setting 3, and then it's on to my turn where I summon Card Trooper, and he compulses it right away so that I don't get mills. And here I just end up setting 2, pass to his turn, he sets 1, sets a monster, back to me, I go for Card Trooper. I mostly miss, I hit one of the level 8 plant princess monsters, and then I swing in with the Card Trooper. It attacks over a switch hitter, and it's back to him. He sets 1 and passes. He didn't open the most ideal in terms of monsters, but, you know, tons of back row is very solid. I go for Card Trooper again, attack in for some damage. He goes and just checks my graveyard, and from here, I believe I just passed it over. Yeah, I passed it over to him. He summons a copy of Headgeared, sending Glassjaw to add back his switch hitter. And then from here, he attacks over the Card Trooper. I take some damage, and I will get a draw off of this, and he passes, so back to me. I use the effect of Redox, discarding a Barbaros. He chains Max C, and I end up summoning back the Cherubime. I'll never pronounce that card right, but it's a really cool card for the plant engine. When it's destroyed in your possession by opponent's card or by battle, it'll float into a plant monster. Here I summon in main phase 2 a Curry Bandit, and he flips Rivalry of the Warlords, and I chain a Wing Blast, luckily, to get rid of it, but he ends up just breakthrough skilling it anyways. So I will not get the effect of the Curry Bandit, and I believe I passed it back to him. Here he summons Switch Hitter. He meant to MST in the end phase, and he forgot. So I chain the Wing Blast to hit the last back row, and with the Switch Hitter resolving, he summons the Glassjaw. He attacks over the Curry Bandit. I believe they have the same amount of attack, the Headgeared and the Curry Bandit, but once per turn, the Headgeared can't be destroyed by battle. And then he attacks over the Cherubime, and it floats into a copy of Lonefire, and he destroys it, and main phase 2, he goes for Lead Yoke. And I think he set one there. I might be missing something. I go and activate Upstart, summon Lonefire. He thinks for a second, and he goes for Torrential, and Lead Yoke protects itself, and then Glassjaw triggers to add back the switch hitter. And here I make a very big Soul Charge play, and I'll use the Lonefire effect here, and I believe I'll summon out another Cherubime. So with this board I have, because I have 2 Cherubimes, and each one has the effect that your opponent has to target it for an attack, it means that my opponent will not be able to declare an attack. It's kind of like a dupe block. And then none of my plants other than the big water one, the Talea, can be destroyed by card effects. And I have targeting protection by tributing a plant with the Titanial. Anyways, back to the game happening right here. He had summoned another Lead Yoke. I push in for some attacks over one of the Lead Yokes. He Foolish Burials a copy of, I forget what that was there, the one that makes it gain 1,000 attack. He goes for Breakthrough Skill, I negate it. Counter Punch is the one I'm referring to. And then I try to attack over the Battlin Boxer Lead Yoke, but he activates the Counter Punch, and that kills the Talea. After that, I just go and try to summon a copy of Curry Bandit. He flips a Rivalry and summons another Headgeared to send a switch hitter. I think he didn't know what targets he had left, and then he activates Kaiser. So now we're in a really weird board state because I can only control one type of monster, and I can't control more monsters than he has. And here he just goes for Cowboy to do some damage since I am getting a little low after Soul Charging for 4. And so here I go for Trade-In. And I have another trade in, and really this is just an awkward board state because I can't beat over his monsters and he can't beat over mine because he can't attack. So very interesting board state here. And I go for Wing Blast and I return the middle card, and then I overlay both of these for a copy of Ulse, and I use the effect. I think I called like Exodia or something, and it goes to graveyard. Then I use the effect to stack back the rivalry on top of the deck, and then I go for Redox effect, and he allows it to go through, which was the opening I needed, I believe, here. No, he still has the Kaiser and stuff, and so it was just a way to get the Redox back to hand. And it's weird because not a lot of things in my extra deck right here can actually get over the, I believe it's 2400 defense on the copy of Gaga Cowboy, which is kind of funny. But we're just in this weird position because I know he has Rivalry set again and he has the Kaiser. So it's like I can't progress the board state at all, and he can't really make a push, and my deck is getting very low. Here, he allows the Redox to go through, and it gives me the opening I needed to Torrential. He uses this blue Flame Swordsman, which banishes to summon back one of his fire warrior-type monsters. And here, I banish 2. I believe I'm trying to go for a title here, and he warnings it. So, very grindy game. I go for Call the Haunted, trying to bring back Titanial, which I do. And I swing. The Glassjaw has its effect when it's targeted for an attack. It blows itself up, and then he's able to add 1 back, but then I can redeclare. And here, just setting more back row, I'm finally starting to make a push. He goes for Switch Hitter. I go for Skill Drain. He lances and can make a copy of Lead Yoke, but I just have too much advantage over him. And it's enough for him to scoop up game 1. So I end up winning game 1, and we are on to game number 2, where he will be starting, and he goes and starts by setting 3, setting 4, 5 back row. So I have my work cut out for me, but luckily Card Trooper is a great card to start this game with. Again, hit really nothing besides the Talea and push in for a little bit of damage. And I think I set a couple back row here. Yeah, I do. And back to him. He sets 1 monster. Back to me. He breakthrough skills. I'm not really sure why he did that. I think he just didn't want to take more damage. But I can still mill for cost. Then I Foolish. Send a copy of Lonefire. Normal summon Barbaros. Its attack will be 19. I try to attack into his monster. And he Fiendish Chains. And it's back to him. So really, anytime you have to grind through a ton of traps, it can be really tough. I go for Miracle Fertilizer, and he MSTs. And from here, just kind of thinking what to do. Not a whole lot, so I pass. Again, he has more back row, so it's just a grind game. He flips the Spar and attacks over Card Trooper, trying to get a little bit of damage. I draw 1, draw for turn, and I'm able to summon the Mythic Water Dragon, go for Felgrand, and he has Blackhorn, so that gets negated and destroyed. I go for Curry Bandit, he goes Fiendish, I go Wing Blast, End Phase Curry Bandit. Some good hits there, sadly not a whole lot of plants, but there are some options there. He attacks for another 12, so just slow chip damage. Here I go trade in, I find a Lonefire, I use the effect, and of course he has Max C again. So I go for Talea just because it's one of the better ones in this exact situation because it's big. And there's the Fiendish Chain that I had restacked. Next he overlays, and the Talea has a effect to give it an attack boost. So he goes for Ragna 0, I go Skill Drain, and then he has the MST for it, unfortunately, and it's not looking good. I try to Redox and bring back the Titanial. He bottomlesses. Upstart Goblin trying to see something. Go for Curry Bandit. Use the effect. And I think, yeah, I take Call the Haunted, but he just has a monster that it has enough attack to push out the last bit of damage. So we are on to game number 3, where I will be starting out. And I start by using Trade-In. I think my hand was pretty decent this game from what I remember, maybe. Curry Bandit as the normal summon. And I see Soul Charge Lone Fire, and that's all I need to know with 2 back row. He starts with a Foolish, sending a Counter Punch. I think that's the name of it. I could be wrong. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. I start my turn here with a Card Trooper, milling 3. I go for Redox and target the Lone Fire. And I'm doing this so that I don't have to Soul Charge right away if I'm not interrupted, so that I can still have my battle phase if need be. And here I'm just going through the Lone Fire plays, go for Talea, go for Call the Haunted. He wiretaps it, unfortunate, but I should be able to push in for some damage. Yeah, I attack for 19 and I believe 29 on the Talea. I could be wrong on that. He goes Fiendish, Wing Blast, another wiretap. He doesn't have a lot of cards here. He goes for Spar, attacks over Card Trooper. I draw 1, and I attempt to use Redox here. I banish Tree Dragon and a Barbaros. He allows it through. I summon the Water Dragon because I control an Earth and go for that Felgran, attack over the Spar, attack in for some more damage. And here, just checking my graveyard one more time, I use the effect on itself to get extra waters engraved to go for Title. And then here, I overlay for Araya. He compulses it before I can use the effect to spin back cards to his hand. And he just sets 1. And I believe from here, I'm able to just... Oh, he goes Rivalry when I try to Redox, which is completely fine. I attack in. Felgran is a house on its own, nonetheless. From here, I pass the turn back to him. He summons a Headgeared. I go Felgran. He chains Breakthrough Skill. I chain Skill Drain here. I forget why I did that, but he scoops it up, and that is the match. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.